Hello everyone, Krishna here. Mumbai just saw one of its scariest incidents in recent years. A man named Rohit Arya held 19 people hostages, including 17 kids inside a building in Powai. It all started like a normal day. Children went for what they thought was simple acting audition. But within us, that turned into a 2 hour long hostage crisis with police, fire trucks, commandos, and terrified parents standing outside the building. By evening, the operation ended, all kids were rescued, and Rohit Arya was shot at by police. But what actually led to this? Who was this man? And why did he do something so extreme? Let's break it down and see the whole story. So here's how it all began. On Thursday afternoon around 1:45 p.m., police got a call. Some parents were panicking because their kids hadn't returned from an acting audition at RA Studio in Powai. When police reached the spot, they found that Rohit Arya, a 38-year-old man, had locked 17 children and 2 adults inside the building. He wasn't answering the calls, and soon he started making threats saying if anyone tried to come inside, he would burn everyone alive. Negotiations went for over 2 hours. Parents were standing outside, crying. Police surrounded the building, and everyone feared the worst. You could even see children crying through the windows. It was heartbreaking. And finally, after all talks failed, Mumbai police decided to send in their quick reaction team, basically commandos trained for this kind of rescue. They made a smart move. Instead of going through the front door, they entered through a bathroom window to surprise him. And that's how the real rescue operation began. So, who exactly was this guy? Rohit Arya wasn't some random criminal. He was actually known in Mumbai's small film and theatre circles, a motivational speaker, acting coach, and a short film director. He used to run workshops and auditions under his banner called RS Studio, the same place where this whole crisis happened. And behind the scenes, Arya was apparently struggling. According to police, he had been fighting with the Maharashtra government for years over a school project he claimed credit for. He said he had developed something called the Swachh Monitor Project, an initiative to improve hygiene in schools. But the government hijacked it and launched their own version called Maji Shala Sundar Shala without giving him any credit or payment. He kept protesting outside the education minister's house. That minister was Deepak Kesarkar, but nobody listened. So he started feeling cheated, ignored, and mentally cornered, and that frustration over years turned into desperation. Now, this is where things get really complicated. According to what Rohit Arya said and what his wife later confirmed, this wasn't about money or fame. He said he wasn't paid for his work on the education project and every attempt to get justice had failed. He recorded a video before the crisis where he said, I'm not a terrorist. I don't want to harm anyone. I just want people to listen to me. He said that instead of committing suicide, he wanted to make people hear his story by holding hostages. In his mind, that was the only way to make the system notice him. It sounds insane, but it shows how desperation can push a person beyond logic. He truly believed he was standing for a moral cause, but obviously, what he did was completely wrong and dangerous. And during the standoff, Rohit Arya sent out a video from inside the studio, and that clip went very viral. In the video, he looked calm but was clearly on edge. He said, please don't trigger me. I have kept some children here as hostages instead of committing suicide. I have very simple and moral demands. I just want to talk. It was chilling to watch. Even though he wasn't shouting or violent in tone, his calmness made it scarier. He had chemicals, a lighter, and what looked like a gun. The police knew one wrong move and dozens of lives could be lost. So they kept talking, trying to buy time and get him to calm down. But it didn't work. Arya's behavior became more unstable as time passed. After many hours of negotiation failed, police commandos got the green signal to move in. A team of 8 quick reaction team commandos quietly entered the studio from the bathroom side because the main door was being watched by Arya. Their plan was to surprise him and protect the hostages first. And when the team entered, Arya got panicked. He reportedly opened fire with what police now say was an air gun. But at that moment, the officers had no way. So they fired back in self-defense. Arya was hit, rushed to the hospital, but later died of his injuries. And the good news was all 19 hostages were rescued safely by 5 p.m. Forensic teams later found the airgun, some chemicals, and a lighter inside. Mumbai Police Commissioner Devin Bharati later said, "He fired first, and we had no option. We had to save lives. And honestly, given how risky the situation was, that decision probably saved those kids." The crisis was over, but the story didn't end there. People started asking, was this just a mental breakdown? Could the government have handled these grievances earlier and prevented this from happening? And should the police have shot to kill, or was there any other way? And right now, there's a demand of magisterial probe to find out exactly how things unfolded and why Arya ended up dead. But one thing is clear, this wasn't just a crime story, it was a story about frustration, neglect, and desperation. A man who felt invisible, unheard, and cornered by the system ended up doing something unforgivable. Thankfully, all kids are safe thanks to the quick and brave action of Mumbai commandos. And thanks for watching my video. See you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.